Hopefully you can hear that. I need to put this in the stand because I'm 3/4 Italian and I need my hands. Yeah, and that Italian joke before, boo. That was bad. All right. Now this is a crowd that I could actually ask this question because I go every once in a while. I go up to a place in. I'm from Massachusetts right now, but as I'm speaking, I want someone to guess at the end of the show where I'm really actually originally from. But I go to this bar up in Haddonfield or something. North Adams in Massachusetts, and it's a really young crowd. So usually when I ask this question, they all stare at me and just like, eh. So, did anybody have to get a babysitter to be here tonight? No. Okay, did anybody have to have somebody watch their grandkids? I'm not being rude, but all right, no. All right. Now I remember in the days when my daughter was younger and I had to get a babysitter, I always hoped that I would get my next door neighbor, who's a teenager, rather than have to rely on my husband. I mean, my husband is great, no offense here, but when I would have my teenager, the teenager next door, I get out of the house a little faster. Her list went something like this. My phone number's on the refrigerator. Give me a call if you need me. 7 o'clock, give her a snack. 7:30, put her to bed. And I'd be out the door. With my husband, it's a little bit longer, a little bit more detailed. His list went something like this. Babe, I have my phone on me. Don't you dare call me. Figure it out for yourself. Sticking a spoon in a pint of Ben & Jerry's, putting some sprinkles on it and saying, have at it, is not an appropriate snack for a 3-year-old. And my personal favorite, bedtime is not when you see my headlights coming down the driveway. The phrase, are you kidding me? I love that phrase. It's just so universal. I thought I was the one who, thought of it years ago. But it really got to think about it. So your spouse comes home and says they got a job promotion. Are you kidding me? Right? Your kid comes home and says they got suspended from school. Are you kidding me? My personal favorite, your 45-year-old sister tells you that she's pregnant with her 3rd child. Are you kidding me? Now with this phrase, you could always add a little word for emphasis like my husband did when I backed into his 6-month-old Dodge Charger. Are you freaking kidding me? And that is a true story. I never saw my husband cry, and that day I think I saw a trickle come down the side when I really crushed his car. So this phrase actually came to me. I was 9 years old, and my mother, and some of you may know this, but my mother brought me to my bedroom because she wanted to teach me the proper way to make a bed with hospital corners. Is anybody aware of this sick ritual? Oh yeah, don't even clap, okay? So there I am, 9 years old, watching my mom, and I'm thinking, why does it have to be so neat? And her response to me was, well, what will people think? And my response was, are you kidding me? Who are these people? And what are they doing in my bedroom? So this added to my fantasy. I had this fantasy when I was a kid that my parents would go away. Not get maimed or killed or have a horrible disease, just go away. Come on, I know some of you had the same fantasy, right? So my fantasy would go something like this. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching the Brady Bunch. I guess I'm dating myself there, but yeah, I'm watching the Brady Bunch. And these people come to my door and demand to see my bed sheets. I bring them to my room, I throw back the bedspread, they gasp in the horrorness of it all, and take my mother away. So let me explain my parents a little bit here. My mother is an outspoken, devoutly Catholic Italian. My father is an introverted, atheist Irishman. My career as a social worker was set by the time I was 3. There ain't nothing that you could bring to my office and sit across from me that I haven't experienced probably firsthand. So let me tell you. Come on. All right, so let me tell you I'll show you a little glimpse into my household. Seriously, true story. 21st birthday. I have 3 siblings younger than me. I'm the oldest. My parents call us into the living room, and I'm thinking, this is it. I'm getting a car, right? I've been good. I never drank. I never did drugs. I always had great grades. I'm going to be graduating college in a month. Not only a car, but it's going to be a Mustang, and it's going to be red, right? So we go in there, we sit down, and they tell us they're getting a divorce. Yeah, honest to God. So years later, I said to my mom, I said, what were you thinking on my 21st birthday? And she said, well, I told your father we probably shouldn't have done your 21st birthday. I'm like, you think? I'm like, yes, social worker from the age of 3. That was one story that I could share with you on that one. But over the years, I kind of gave my parents, or my mom specifically, a break. Because I really thought about it. And back when I was young, and I'm going to date myself, but it was about the 70s, that I think there was a conspiracy against kids back in the 70s. And all you have to do is look at a 70s playground. Now, some of you younger kids, you don't have no idea of the things I'm going to talk to you about, but believe me, this actually happened, these things. So, a 70s playground. Now, the playgrounds of today are beautiful. A family of 4 could live at some of these places. Seriously, we didn't have the fluffy chips or what is that, foam stuff that they put down. We had grass if we were lucky. After 2 weeks, it was solid dirt, right? Any day, it was a given that when you walked on a playground, you were walking away with a scraped knee or something was breaking. It was just horrible. So we've got this slide, right? A seemingly innocent thing. Nowadays, the mom's holding little Jimmy's hand and saying, okay, Susie, get out of the way, and like bringing him down. In my day, when it was foggy, you couldn't see the top of that thing. It was like 17 deep going up, you know, and you got your juice box, and you're drinking your juice box because you're exhausted and dehydrated by the time you get to the top, right? So, and when you're going down, so we get to the top, and we have to say, hey, look out, I'm coming! And you go shooting down that thing. The reason we had to say that is because our mothers weren't in sight. Their feet didn't hit the playground, they were back home, right? So we had to warn the kids. And we went so fast that you'd go about 20 feet and you can knock out about 3 kids. So you gotta warn them as you're coming down. Now, I grew up, oh, well here it goes. I'll tell you where I'm gonna grow up. I don't know if anybody's guessed with my accent right now. Anybody? My daughter, here's a sentence. My daughter drank a drink of water before she walked the dog. Where am I from? There you go. And that was just me talking. It really wasn't an accent. So anyway, I'm in North Jersey, and in North Jersey in the summertime it's like 95 degrees. Now, we didn't have plastic slides. We had metal. So you shoot down it, and you're like burned halfway down your legs, for one thing, right? Then the other thing is, now some people, the kids with the corduroys, you know what corduroys were, young lady? All right, I'm not sure if you know it. No, she says no, she doesn't know what they are. If you went on a slide with corduroys, you just went, and you just stood there, right? You just sat, you didn't move. So those kids would bring a roll of wax paper, and they would go shooting down with the wax paper. Me, personally, I had built-in wax paper. I had polyester pants. So it was very easy to go down there. All right, so then, now we have the seesaw. Again, a seemingly wonderful little thing today. Nowadays, you're just holding Samantha's hand and she's going up and down. Not in my day. In my day, I lived in North Jersey. In the up position, you could see the Empire State Building from my school. And when you were up, it was a nice breeze up there, right? And it was kind of quiet, because it was kind of quiet. And then you come down, everybody's hey, what are you doing? Yeah, that's what it was like. It was so stinking high. Oh God, now you're gonna be confused. All right, so I'm not a professional at this. That's why I'm like. So anyway, now, then we had that thing, and I gotta know the name of the man who made this thing, that thing that spins around, right? So there was either a way you go like this, or you would run around it, the spinny thing. I call it the spinny thing, right? So we're going around. So at the beginning of the year, you're kind of going like this and you're running with it, right? At the end of the year, you're like this because there's a freaking ditch behind and around the thing, right? You were lucky. If you got tossed like a piece of paper, you chipped a tooth or sprained your elbow. The other option was you're spinning around in this dizzy like stupor. You're like find yourself by third base off the kickball field and you're vomiting your lunch up. A friend of mine, Patty, to this day, in some circles, she's known as Puke Face Patty. You never live that one down. But all this pales in comparison to those barnyard animals on a spring. And I know some of you might know what I'm talking about. The younger ones never noticed. So there's these barnyard animals, pigs and cows and chickens and goats. Who knows why they picked this and not a horse? I mean, you ride a horse, not a pig, but anyway. So they're going back and forth. They got little stirrups, they got little hair, and you're going back and forth. They're pretty good. About 6 months in, that spring loosens up, right? So in my playground, You knew the cow was good, you can go on the cow, you could trust the cow. The pig, if you're a little adventurous, you can go on the pig. No one went on the rooster unless they were 6th grade and up. That sucker was like a freaking mechanical bull. It was going, all over the place, going like this, right? So one day we get this new girl named Susie Bigelow. She's new to our school, and she comes in. I'm sorry. Can I finish the end of it? I'm sorry. So I get Susie Bigelow, she comes to school. And she's a really nice kid, but she's going towards the animals, right? So we see her going towards the animals, and we said, and we're a really good group of kids. So it's really surprising that someone didn't clue her in. But instead, you see this, right? So she gets on the rooster. She picks the rooster. She's on the rooster, and she's going pretty good. And at one point, that rooster has a tipping point. Susie Bigelow hit it, and she hit it hard. She went down, her feet were in the stirrups, her arms were, and she's like sitting like this, right? Pass up in the air. She was wearing a dress that day. There was a hush that came across the playground. It was like, we were mesmerized and terrified at the same time. It was like watching an accident on the side of a road, right? Later on, after we heard, we never saw Susie Bigelow again. After the principal and the lunch aide extracted her from the rooster, we heard her mother took her, withdrew her from our school and got her into another school with playground equipment that was much safer. And for that, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much. Sorry.